Hello, operator. Can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Ghoulie Show.
Ionized Yeast presents Lights Out, Everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly, but sincerely, to turn off your radio now.
This is Arch Obler. And these days, the jungles are full of the whine of machine gun bullets and with 25 caliber automatic rifles. There was a time, though, when the sound in the jungle was that of insects and the raucous call of jungle birds. Men went into the tropical forest for high adventures or to make money. It's of these times that our story is tonight.
And now, Lights Out, Everybody. The jungles of the upper Amazon.
Dixie! Hey, Dixie!
You don't have to shout. I hear you.
Hey, Dixie, look. Hey, look at this. Look at this one. Look at it, I tell you.
Another butterfly.
Yeah, look at these wings. Look at them.
Better if it had wings big as an airplane to take us out of this hellhole.
I bet I'll get 10 francs for this one.
If we get out of the jungle alive.
Oh, I'll get out.
Aye. You mean we? You wouldn't leave me here?
Don't worry, Dixie. You get in this with me and you'll get out of it with me. It's good to sit down.
Until the ants begin to eat you.
Oh, cut it out, will you? Can't you do anything but sing the blues?
I suppose I should be happy. Should sing a song because the sun is burning me up, because the insects are biting me, because I'm here in this devil's hole half the world away from my home.
Cut it out. Think I like it any better than you do? It's our only chance, see? Catching these bugs is our only chance to get the door and get out of here.
But the sun...
You think the sun's any colder working in the mines? You think the sun's any colder sitting out there on the beach tearing your heart out every time you see a boat heading back? Tell you, Dixie, the jungle's the only chance we have to get out of here, and by the devil, I'm taking it.
Yeah, you're right. I know it's as you say. Our only chance.
Sure it is. Now snap out of it. Another couple of days like this one, and we'll have caught enough of these bugs to head back to the coast.
But will we get through?
Listen, Dixie, when I say I'm getting out of here, I'm getting out.
But the natives say...
Cut it out, I tell you. Nothing's going to stop me.
But if we do get out, how do we know that Mr. Renat will buy the butterflies?
Listen, he said he would, didn't he?
Oh, what a man says.
Yeah? Well, why shouldn't he buy them? Gives us a franc a piece and then sells them all over the world for plenty of dough.
But who would waste money on such things?
Don't you know nothing? Schools, museums. They pay plenty of dough for these jungle butterflies.
But why should anybody...
Oh, forget it, I tell you. If you air hot enough without you shooting your mouth up all over the time, I'll lay still, I tell you, and forget it.
All right. I'll forget it. Joe, I seen you laugh to yourself. Why do you laugh?
I was just thinking. What? I was thinking what you said before about a butterfly with wings like an aeroplane.
Yeah?
Funny, ain't it? Two big guys like you and me. Guys that shot the works from arson and murder. Both of us depended on what? To get us out of the jungle and back to where we came from. Handful of blue and red and purple butterflies.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Funny, eh? If anybody told me a couple of years ago that I'd be chasing bugs, I'd have slugged them. The bugs are all the chance I got now.
That's right.
You know, it's a funny thing. When I was a kid, I used to chase butterflies, too. Dinky little white ones all around the empty lot and back of the... What's the matter with you, Dixie? What are you staring at?
Here. You didn't see it?
See what? What is there to see with it? Natives?
No.
Then what? Then what?
From behind that tree. He looked out at me.
He? What are you talking about? Who looked out at you?
A spider. And I think it was as large as a dog. Joe. Not sleeping?
No.
I can't sleep either.
Oh, so hot. Gee, it used to get nice and cool about this time of night where I used to live.
Joe.
Yeah, what's the matter?
Did I see it?
You starting that again?
But I must have seen it. I must have seen it. It was all so clear.
Look, I tell you, it was nothing but a monkey hanging there. Spider.
But I saw...
Go on, the heat's frying your brains. Go on to sleep.
Yeah. Sleep. I'll try.
Okay. Blast mosquito got it under the netting.
You get it? Did you get it?
No. I got it.
Another one?
You're holding the netting. That's what's the matter. I might as well get up and fix it. Blast that stuff. It's falling apart with mildew.
Joe!
What do you want?
Don't go too close to the edge of that clearing.
What are you talking about? I'm just going to fix the netting so that...
Joe, what? Joe, what is it? Joe!
I'm okay.
Yeah, but you screamed.
Yeah.
Well?
I saw it, too. It was sitting at the edge of the clearing in the moonlight. Yeah. Spider as big as a dog. Tighter. Pull the line tighter. Yeah, I dug it. Okay, come on out of the tree now.
All right.
Now watch yourself. Don't shake that tree too much. That trapdoor's set on a hair trigger.
There. Now it's done.
Yeah. That cage ain't strong enough to hold it. You can run a knife through me.
But what if it doesn't come here again?
Here by the tree the last 2 nights, wasn't it?
Yeah, but what...
So it'll do it again. Only this time it's going to stay by the tree.
But what if the trap fails?
Don't start that again. I tell you, one jerk of the spine from where we're sitting, the whole cage will fall right on him. Then, my friend, our troubles are all over.
I tell you, Joe, I'm afraid.
Afraid of what? Getting out of here and getting someplace where we can live like men? You afraid of making money?
Money?
Listen, for a spider that big, I could get enough cash to float home with silk shirts on our back. Think of it. A spider that big? We'll clean up with it.
No, Joe, no. I say let's get away from here.
Oh, scared you, Dixie, huh? Well, it don't me. I tell you, this blast of jungle has spit out a gold mine for us.
But the trap. Are you sure of it, Joe?
Sure, I'm sure. We'll catch him. And it won't be butterflies paying our ship fare home, Dixie. It'll be the biggest spider in the world. That's all right, huh, Dixie?
But are you sure of the trap, Joe?
time it is?
Stars are gone.
Getting up morning.
Yeah.
It was always earlier before.
Trap frightened them away.
What do spiders know about traps?
You said yourself they're clever.
Don't be a fool.
But you said yourself...
Just talking, that's all.
There's a fear in me. Cold and sharp as you...
Wait.
Huh?
The edge of the clearing.
It's coming.
Stay quiet.
Joe, let him go.
Quiet or I'll kill you.
Don't pull a trap.
Quiet.
It's looking at us.
Another step and it'll be right under the... There. I got it. Oh, look at it, Dixie. Try it. And it's mine. The biggest spider in creation. I'll get all the money I need. Oh. Well, Dixie, what's the matter with you? Come on, why don't you say something?
Trapped. And it doesn't move. Just looks at us. Joe. How many days since...
Well, say it. Since we caught the big fella? 3. Yeah, 3 days.
You haven't said it.
You're telling me.
Why do you...
Because I'm playing it smart. Pretty soon that thing won't be caring much about anything. And I'm going to slip the bottom of that cage and off we go.
They say such creatures can live for a long time without eating.
Not when they're that size. I figure that sitting out there in that sun all day, well, in about a week it won't care much whatever we do with it.
Joe.
Yeah?
How could such a creature be?
What do you mean, how could it be? You're looking at it, ain't you?
But such a spider.
It's there, that's all that means anything to me.
But such a giant creature.
That's it. It's a giant, ain't it? Well, you've seen giant human beings in circuses, haven't you? Well, they just happen, that's all. That's the way this spider happened.
So black.
Yeah. The midnight special, ain't he? Those big, hairy legs.
Once I saw an octopus.
Huh?
Devilfish.
Oh, yeah, sure. And this one looks like a dry land devilfish, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, will that make a billboard at a circus sideshow? Will we clean up?
The legs, the strength they must have.
Not when I get through it.
Look at it, Joe, be honest.
Huh?
Isn't there a strange fascination when you look at it closer?
What are you talking about?
Its eyes.
Well,
How they shine.
so what?
As if there was a thought behind them.
You're starting that again.
All these 3 days it sits there so quietly. Its eyes like burning flames just watching.
Cut it out.
If it is thinking, I'm afraid of what it is thinking.
Howdy, Miss Spider. Yeah, plenty of. Hey, Dixie couldn't take it anymore. He's off looking for a cool spot. But me, I didn't want to leave you alone, Spider. I didn't want to leave my meal ticket. You're going to be a big-time attraction on the boardwalk in some big-time circus, Spider. Yeah? Yeah, you're a screwy-looking thing, Spider. They won't believe you until they see it. The fella's going to cost them plenty before they do see it. Hey, Spider. Why don't you move? Spider. You're not dead. Get a stick. Spider. Bless you, you're not dead. You can't be dead. It's been only a week since... You can't be dead. You're my chance. You can't be dead. Curled up with your legs over you. Bless you, move. Reach in and see. Let go. Let go of me. You bastard devil. You fooled me. Let go. Let go of my arm. Get away. Let go. Dixie. Dixie. The spider. Come on, Dixie.
Joe? Joe, where are you? Joe? Oh, the sound suddenly so quiet. Joe? Where's the man? He said he'd be here. He said... Buddy, what? Dried up. What? Joe! Joe, come quickly. I found a body. Joe, come quickly. Must see who? Joe. Joe, it's you. Joe, how did this... What? The spider. But how... Gone. Gone from the cage. And what he did to you, Joe. Might come back while I was staying here. Might come back. Gotta get out. Here, get things together. Butterfly, take boxes and get out before... Something move behind that tree. No, won't get me. Won't get me. Won't get me. Oh. Oh. My foot twisted. Must have broken my... Oh. Gotta get away. Oh. Gotta get away. Gotta get away. Gotta get away. Oh, my leg. Crawling. How far have I crawled? All day. So dark. Never get me now, that devil thing. I did get away. I crawled miles. I did get away. Clear. Someone to help me. Crawled to the house. Someone to help me. So dark. Oh. Tired. No strength to call out. Crawl and find someone to help me. And I'll be free. Free. Got something. What? A body. Joe, you, but how? What? Back in the camp. I'm back in the camp. Crawled all night in a circle back in the camper. No. Get out. Get out before... Oh, my leg. No. Can't crawl anymore. That sound. What? Behind me. It's behind me, waiting to jump on my back. No, don't! Nothing. Isn't there? If I could only crawl again, if I could only get away before... The moon coming up bright. Now I'll see what... Not here. Only you, Joe. Empty flesh over there in the moonlight. Blast you to the devil, Joe. You brought me here. You was right that you died, but that spider won't get me, not me. It's gone now. My leg will get better. I will get away. Yes, I will. Spider, come back. Oh, no. No closer. No closer. No. Going back. Well, what? On Joe. Crawling over him. But Joe is dead. What is the spider going to... Spinning a web over him, turning him around and around like a fly, covering him with that thick silk. Spinning a web of silk over Joe. Sleep? Sun. Morning. Morning. It is morning. I'm alive. I'm alive. Someone come. Get a hide. Who? So heavy a wolf it can't be that devil spider. Must be one of the savages here. Help me. See who? Joe. It is Joe alive. Joe! Joe, I'm here. Joe, I'm here. Wait for me. Joe, why do you stand there? I must have had a dream. All that happened, yes, a dream last night. Oh, it's a funny nightmare to tell you. Joe, why do you just stand there? Why do you just look at me? Your eyes, the sun shines in them. They hurt me. Don't look at me like that, Joe. Your eyes so dark, so big. I say closer, closer, my friend, come closer. I have such a happy thing to tell you. Closer. I hear you. I like what your eyes are singing to me, Joe. Yes, I come closer. You keep telling me that happy thing. Yeah. I'm close to you now, Joe. Tell me what your eyes... Your hand. Why do you grab my arm? Your other hand, my other arm. Why do your fingers hold my arm so tight they hurt me? Another arm on my shoulder. Joe, another arm holding my neck. Joe, so many arms, how can it be? Joe, it is you. I see your face, but your eyes bigger and bigger. Sun so strong in my head, burning my head inside. Is that why I see such crazy things, Joe? Joe, why don't you say something? Your eyes bigger and bigger, burning into my head. Now your face is changing. Joe, it is you. Then why doesn't your face... Joe, that sound, your face, your arms... Spider... You are the spider. The spider. Your eyes fooled me, didn't they? Made me think I was seeing Joe, but all the time it was you, Mr. Spider. They're wonderful eyes you have, Mr. Spider. I'm not afraid anymore. Isn't that a joke? Your black arms pull me close. I see the poison dripping from your fangs, but I'm not afraid. It's very funny. When the worst thing really happens, you're not afraid. I'm not afraid. Your fangs. Closer. Closer. I'm not afraid. Right deep. Right deep.
Now, Mr. Obler, what's the moral of tonight's story? Stay away from spiders?
Yes, especially from black widows. No, Frank, our story tonight was just in fun, which reminds me of vacations, of which few of us are going to have any this year. And speaking of vacations, I'd like to tell you about a very amazing vacation I once had, visiting haunted houses. And after that vacation, I was badly in need of something our government wants from us very much these days. Nurses. Now, here's some facts, and please listen because they concern each of you. Unless the nurse power of the entire nation is reinforced by the enrollment of 65,000 students in the schools of nursing for 1943, all of us face a real threat to civilian health. Therefore, beginning immediately and continuing through the spring and summer months, nursing must be considered America's #1 woman power shortage. I'd like to say some words that the government said. 65,000 young women must dedicate their lives so that others might live. Now about haunted houses. Well, I visited all the legendary haunts up in New England, but, well, I went through the moss-covered old piles and creaky-floored structures and weather-beaten homes and all the places where the souls of the unhappy departed are supposed to walk through the night.
What happened?
I caught a violent cold and met a little old lady.
Oh, who's she?
Well, you'll meet her next week in a play titled Little Old Lady. And to all of you, a very, very cordial invitation to an amazing little old lady next week.
Yes, tune in next Tuesday again for Arch Obler's eerie story, Little Old Lady. It is later than you think.
It's intermission time at the Baba Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watch Waddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Can the dead return to life? Listen to the weird circle. The weird circle. In this cave by the restless sea, we are met to call from out the past stories strange and weird. Bellkeeper, toll the bell, so all may know we are gathered again in the weird circle.
This is Weird Circle time at the Ogden's Playhouse. Tonight we are to hear a radio adaptation of the Frederick Marriott story, The Werewolf. There's an eerie and unusual atmosphere to this story which makes it a good choice for this Weird Circle series. It's a story that recommends itself for good listening. In its own field, Ogden's Fine Cut Tobacco is the recommended choice for good smoking when rolling your own cigarettes. There's no substitute for quality. That's why Ogden's wins consistent top preference. Ogden's is the choice of smokers who demand the best. Try a package. You'll find Ogden's easy to roll, delightful to smoke. Yes, easy to roll, delightful to smoke. And now our story, The Werewolf, by Frederick Marriott.
Out of the past, phantoms of a world gone by speak again the immortal tale, the werewolf.
frightened. It's only our neighbor's dog baying at the moon. Go to sleep. You are safe here with my husband and me.
Where are you, good wife?
Here. Shh. The boy's trying to sleep. What news of his father?
Peace to his soul. He was raving mad by the time I got him to the hospital. It was brain fever. How's the boy?
Poor little lad. He says they walked all the way from the Harz Mountains. And he's only 11. He was starved. Ate his supper as if he'd never seen food.
There's tragedy back of all this, good wife. When the boy stopped me on the road and asked for help, there was terror in his eyes.
The wolf! Help me! Oh, help me!
Oh, quiet, boy, quiet. Nothing to fear. You're safe here by the sea. There are no wolves here. Just lie quietly, boy. I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
By what name are you called?
Herman. Herman Kranz.
Well, Herman, I'm afraid I have sad news for you.
My father is dead?
Yes.
That is not sad news. I thank heaven.
What?
Why?
Because my father is free of the evil one and his curse. Now there's only me. But I must go. I must hurry. I must get far away from the forests and the mountains.
Oh, lie back, child. Wait a bit. There are no mountains or forests here. Only the calm sea.
What do you fear, Herman? Let me sit beside you. Don't be afraid.
You kissed me.
Is that so strange?
What? It is very strange. You're kind and good, and yet you are a woman.
Poor motherless little one.
It might help you lose some of your fears, boy, if you told us something about yourself. You were born in the Harz Mountains?
No, mynheer. We lived in Hungary on the estate of a great noble. My father was steward.
And what about your mother?
She ran away from us when we were very small. My brother Caesar said it was because of her that my father killed his noble lord.
Oh, I see. Now go on with your tale.
Father took all the money we owned and put us in the sleigh. We drove fast and far until we were out of Hungary. Then he bought a cottage among the tall firs deep in the Harz Mountains. And there we grew up.
Your brother and you.
And our little sister, Marcella. We loved her very much.
Weren't you very lonely?
Oh, the winters were long and dark. Father went hunting every day, but shut us indoors for safety from the wolves. He also forbade us to light the fire, so we used to creep under heaps of bear skins to keep warm. We'd talk of that happy time when the snow would melt, the leaves burst out, the birds sing again, and we could go outdoors and play in our garden.
A sad life for children.
No, not sad. We were happy with each other, we three. Until...
Yes, Herman, until...
the howl of wolf. Father had come from his hunting and had kindled a fire, and we were sitting around it when suddenly a wolf howled close under the window. My father seized his gun, looked to the priming, and ran out, shutting the door behind him. We waited hours, and it was nearly midnight when my brother Caesar went to the door.
I've heard no report of a gun.
Father must have chased the wolf a long way.
Or else...
Oh, no. Father's all right, Marcella.
I will look out and see if he's coming.
Take care, Caesar. The wolves may be close and we cannot kill them.
I'll be careful. I see nothing but moonlight and snow.
Come in, Caesar. Father will come when he can. I'm hungry. We've had no supper, but we'll be punished if we do not wait.
Father will be glad to have food ready. Let's cook it for him and for ourselves.
Very well, I'll get down some venison. But, Marcella, can you dress it?
Surely. Haven't I often helped Father? Get the iron pot, Herman.
There. I've cut off lots of slices. Now, put the fat in the pot.
Oh, be careful of the fire, little sister.
Look out the window, Herman. Someone's coming.
It's Father. And there's a man with him leading a horse.
Yes, and there's a lady in the saddle. See how the moon shines on her white face and that lovely flaxen hair.
I'm frightened.
Why, sister darling? She's beautiful.
Hold on!
Caesar, open the door. We have guests. Enter, good sir. I have little to offer, but you and your daughter are welcome.
Friend Hunter, it was good fortune for us that you were out so late. We had ridden far in fear of our lives.
And we would have died of cold and hunger in those mountains had you not heard our horn and saved us.
Come, mistress. Seat yourself by the fire.
The warmth is pleasant.
And the smell of food is pleasanter still. You have young cooks here, Mynheer.
Yes, these are my children. Caesar, Herman, and Marcella.
Welcome, sir. We have supper already, Father.
Before I eat, I must put up my horse.
Oh, I will take care of him.
Let me go with you.
You needn't trouble. But if you like, come along. I have a shed outside.
What fine boys you are. Come close to me. Good, strong arm. Sturdy shoulder. Why do you tremble, lad?
You're so white and shining.
There's no reason to fear me.
You're a stranger.
I'm not strange. We should be friends, But where's the little girl?
She's afraid. I think she's hidden herself in bed.
Gone to bed without any supper? She must have been a bad little girl.
She is not bad, lady.
No, she's good.
You say you were lured away by a large white wolf which howled at this very window?
Yes, I saw it about 30 yards off. The animal retreated slowly, and I followed. I didn't like to fire until I was sure that my shot would take effect.
A white wolf? Of course you were anxious to shoot such a very rare animal.
The wolf would leave me far behind, then stop and snarl defiance at me, then start off at speed again as I neared it. It led me further and further up the mountain to an open space in the forest. And there it stopped and growled. I raised my gun to shoot when suddenly the wolf disappeared.
Disappeared? How strange.
I thought the moonlight on the snow was playing me some trick. But no, she was gone. That's when I heard your horn.
The creature passed us just as we came out of the woods into that glade.
I nearly shot it myself. But since she led you to our rescue, I'm glad I let the wolf escape.
Father, that open glade is the home of the evil ones.
Evil ones? What does the boy mean?
Oh, superstition has it that strange and wicked beings haunt these mountains.
Oh, I must hear more of these legends. Evil spirits interest me.
I confess I was glad to see that you were mortals.
Oh, yes. My daughter Christine and I are just creatures of flesh and blood.
Yes, I assure you, I'm only a woman with very human appetites. And right now, I have a great desire for sleep.
My father made room for all of us, and we crept into our beds. But we couldn't sleep. Father and the strange hunter sat up all night before the fire, drinking and talking. Our ears were ready to catch the slightest whisper.
You say you come from Hungary?
Even so, Mynheer. I served a noble house, but my master was cruel. It ended in my giving him a few inches of my hunting knife. So we fled for our lives.
Well, we are countrymen then, and brothers in misfortune. I, too, have fled for my life.
Your name, man?
Krantz.
What? Krantz? I have heard your story. I am your kinsman, Wilfred of Bonsdorf.
Well, a toast then to welcome you, cousin. You and your daughter must stay here as long as you choose.
So the huntsman and his daughter Christine stayed on in the cottage. The two men hunted each day, and Christine stayed with us and did the household duties. Father was becoming very attentive to Christine. They would often sit up at night talking in low tones before the fire. Then, several weeks later, we learned that Father had asked Christine in marriage.
You may take my child, Krantz, and my blessing with her.
I will duly value her. But there is no priest in this wild country.
Well, there must be some ceremony between you to satisfy your father. Will you both consent that I marry you after my own fashion?
I will.
I will.
Then take her by the hand and swear.
I swear.
By all the spirits of the Hartz Mountains?
Nay, why not by heaven?
Because it is not my humor. Surely you will not thwart me.
Yes, but why swear by that in which I do not believe?
Father, no, please don't marry her.
Be still, Marcella.
This is scarcely any affair of yours, child.
Well, will you be married, or shall I take my daughter away with me?
Proceed.
Here is the oath, writ out on this parchment. Read it. And swear.
By all the spirits of the Hartz Mountains, I take Christine for my wedded wife. I will ever cherish and love her. My hand shall never be raised to harm her. And if I fail in this my vow, may all the vengeance of the spirits fall upon me and upon my children. May they perish by the vulture or by the beasts of the forest. Why, this is horrible. I can't.
Swear.
All this I swear.
Father!
Strange behavior from your children, my husband, on our wedding night.
Stop crying, Marcella. I'm sorry, Christine.
Never mind, my dear husband. I'm not angry. But from now on, the children are my concern. They shall obey me. And I shall love the little darlings.
Friends, the legend of the werewolf is one that has lived a long time in the pages of classical folklore. Many of you are familiar with the legend, and no doubt many of you have a preconceived idea of what comprises the climax to tonight's Weird Circle story. Roll-your-own cigarette smokers everywhere know that there isn't any legend to the story of smoking satisfaction when your choice of tobacco is Ogden's Fine Cut, and you know what to expect every time you light a cigarette rolled with Ogden's. You're certain there can be only one result: complete smoking enjoyment. There's a smooth goodness to Ogden's, a distinctive taste and uniform quality that makes Ogden's, O-G-D-E-N''S, Ogden's Fine Cut Tobacco, the leading choice of people everywhere, discerning roll-your-own cigarette smokers who insist on the very best. Try Ogden's and you're sure of top-flight smoking satisfaction. You'll agree that Ogden's is easy to roll, delightful to smoke. Yes, easy to roll, delightful to smoke. And now back to our story. Krantz, a fugitive from Hungarian cruelty, had fled with his small children, Caesar, Herman, and Marcella, to a rude hut deep in the Hartz Mountains. One winter night, while pursuing a white wolf, Krantz is hailed by a stranger and his beautiful daughter, Christine, who were lost in the mountains. He invites them to his humble home, and being glad for the good company he thinks there will be, he begs them to stay on as his guests for as long as they choose. In the days that follow, Krantz falls in love with the beautiful Christine, and though his little daughter cries out in fearful premonition of things to come, he marries her in a strange pagan ceremony.
The next morning, Wilfred the hunter mounted his horse and rode away. Things went on much as before the marriage, except that Christine showed us no kindness now. She often struck us and took special pleasure in ill-treating Marcella. One night, my little sister shook us as we slept.
Wake up, brother. Wake up, Herman.
What's the matter, Marcella?
She's gone out.
Gone out?
Yes, in her night clothes. I saw her get out of bed. Then she looked at Father to make sure he still was asleep. Then she went out the door.
A wolf. She'll be torn to pieces.
Oh, no. Much as I hate her, that would be too horrible.
Well, what can have made her go out all undressed in the deep snow?
She's strange.
She's dreadful. Her eyes flash fire when they look at me. Her teeth are like an animal's.
She certainly eats queerly. Have you noticed she doesn't like to sit at the table? While getting supper, I've seen her tear at a piece of meat that wasn't even cooked.
There she is in the firelight.
She's in her white nightdress.
Washing her face and hands in the water pail. Father hasn't even waked up.
She's going back to bed.
We might as well go to sleep now, but we'll watch again tomorrow night.
The next night and every night, our stepmother rose from bed and left the cottage. And every night the wolf howled under our windows. And always on her return, Christine washed herself, then crept back to bed, and always my father slept soundly. Well, the time came when my brother could stand it no longer.
Caesar, why have you come to bed all fully dressed?
I'm going to find out about these midnight walks.
You'll tell Father?
Not until I know where she goes and what she does.
Caesar, you don't mean that you...
Yes, tonight I'm going to follow her.
No, Caesar, please don't. Please don't. I'm afraid.
I know you're brave, but I wish you wouldn't go, brother.
I'm going now. There's no use talking.
She's getting up now.
Quiet, you two. There she goes to the door.
Be careful, Caesar. Be careful.
Took Father's gun. Oh, I'm so frightened.
So am I. I'm shaking all over.
I wonder how long we'll have to wait. A shot. Father was sure he'd wait now and find out about her.
No. Listen. He's still asleep.
Someone's coming. Oh, I hope.
It's not Caesar. It's Christine. Shh. Look at her. Marcella, her dress is all covered with blood. Now, what's she doing?
Huh? Who's there?
Lie still, dearest. It's only me.
Oh.
I'm just relighting the fire to warm some water.
Hurry back, Christine mine. You should be asleep at this time of night.
We watched our stepmother change her linen and burn the garments. Her leg was bleeding. She bandaged it and sat before the fire. But where was Caesar? And how did Christine get the wound and rest from his gun? Oh, trembling in our bed, we waited. Waited till dawn. Father awoke. Father?
Oh, what is it, Herman?
Father, where is my brother Caesar?
What do you mean, son?
Oh, he went out in the night. Marcella and I waited for him. He's not come back.
Merciful heaven. I was restless last night and thought I heard someone lift the latch. Dear me, husband, what has become of your gun?
My gun? But, great heaven, it's gone.
Caesar took it.
Herman, get me the broadaxe. I'm going to find Caesar.
Oh, why did Caesar go out? What has happened to her?
She's killed. Your whimpering will not help. Here comes your father now.
Father. Oh, Father's carrying
Caesar torn to pieces. Oh.
Clear the table. There. The body of my oldest son.
Quiet, children. Herman, close the door. Husband, your boy must have taken the gun to shoot a wolf. The animal must have been too powerful for him. Poor boy.
At that terrible moment, I wanted to tell Father all we knew, but Marcella held my arm and looked so imploringly at me that I kept silent. She and I were sure that Christine had some connection with our brother's death. Father dug a grave and piled stones on it. And for days he just sat and stared at the fire, mourning for Caesar. Our stepmother's wanderings continued. One day, Father again took down his gun to go hunting, but soon returned.
Would you believe it, Christine? The wolves, perdition to the whole breed, have dug up the body of my poor boy, and there's nothing left of him but bones.
Indeed. Then you must build a new grave.
Father, a wolf howls under our window every night.
Well, why didn't you tell me? Wake me the next time you hear it. I'll get that wolf.
Have you not yet learned that it is safest to leave wolves alone?
Why, Christine, your eyes are wild, and you're almost snarling at me.
But I'm so afraid for you, dear husband.
We never heard the wolf howl under our window again. Well, when at last spring came, and I helped my father with our small farm, Marcella was always with us. for we couldn't bear to have her out of our sight. Our stepmother stopped going out on her nightly rambles. One day, she came out to us and said she was going to collect some herbs Father wanted, and that Marcella must go to the cottage to watch the dinner. Well, Marcella obeyed, and we saw my stepmother disappear into the forest in the opposite direction, so felt no danger from our little sister. But about an hour later...
Marcella!
She's got herself!
Run, Herman, run! Great heaven. Look, the white wolf.
Shrinking out of our cottage. Kill us, Father!
I have no gun. We're too late. It's gone. Oh, my little Marcella.
The wolf has hurt her terribly. She's bleeding, Father.
She's dying. Marcella, my darling. Speak to me.
The white wolf.
What's wrong? Oh, how horrible. Poor child. Oh, it must have been that great white wolf which passed me just now and frightened me so.
She's quite dead.
Oh, my poor husband. How horrible. How horrible.
We dug a grave for my darling little sister and did everything we could to protect it against wolves. Oh, I was alone now. So awfully alone. But no longer afraid of my stepmother. My heart was full of hate and revenge. That very night, I saw Christine get up and go out of the cottage. I dressed quickly and half opened the door. The moon was very bright, and I could see Marcella's grave. But I saw something else. Something so horrible that I turned cold in my heart and ran to wake my father. Father, get up and dress. Hurry.
What? The wolves again? I'll be right there. Get my gun.
I have it, Father. Come.
Herman, stop. Who is that crouching on Marcella's grave? Christine.
Yes, in her white nightdress. She's digging with her hands.
She's throwing the stones behind her.
Her face is as cruel as a wild beast.
Oh, she's destroying Marcella's grave.
Your gun, Father, shoot.
Yes, my son, yes. Pray that my hand holds steady. Heaven forgive me. I have killed my beautiful Christine.
No, look, Father. The body on Marcella's grave. The body you've killed is not my stepmother. It's not Christine.
No, it's the white wolf. The white wolf which lured me into the forest. The white wolf that killed my children. Oh, I see it all now. My oath. My oath to the spirits of the Heart's Mountain.
Spirits of the Heart's Mountain, I take Christine for my wedded wife. I will ever cherish and love her. My hand shall never be raised to harm her. And if I fail in this my vow, may all the vengeance of the spirits fall upon me and upon my children. May they perish by the vulture or by the beasts of the forest. Poor fool mortal who had a werewolf. Your beautiful Christine, a werewolf. A werewolf.
Stop, demon, stop! I shall go mad. Come, my son, my little Herman. You at least may escape this awful curse. We must flee for our lives, away from these evil forests, to the sea. There you'll be safe, my son. There you will be safe.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have brought you the werewolf. Bellkeeper, toll the bell.
There will be another Weird Circle presentation at the Ogden's Playhouse next week at this same time. This is your invitation to join our story circle for a half hour of unusual radio entertainment. Meanwhile, remember the name Ogden's when in need of a cigarette tobacco. It's a name you won't forget after trying a cigarette rolled with this choice tobacco. Men who know a quality smoke prefer Ogden's. You, too, will prefer Ogden's after tasting its unequaled goodness. You'll find Ogden's easy to roll, delightful to smoke. Yes, easy to roll, delightful to smoke. Next week at this time, another Weird Circle story, The Old Nurse's Tale, by Elizabeth Gaskell. Be sure to listen. If you smoke a pipe, try Ogden's Cut Plug. It's a rich, smooth pipe tobacco.
It's intermission time at the Baba Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Hey everyone, Waddle from Watch Waddle here. Hope you're all enjoying today's radio show, and don't forget to check out some of Watch Waddle's tunes. So round, so firm, so fully packed with hits.
Screwy Forest's Watch Waddle cartoons. Available on Channel Watch Waddle. The Baba Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays.
Bring you The Witch's Tale, written and produced by Alonzo Dean Cole. And now let us join old Nancy, witch of Salem, and Satan, her wise black cat.
Hannah, 10-year-old I be today. Yes, sir. Hannah, 10-year-old. Satan. A lot of folks has been writing us letters asking how old Nancy got to be such a nice ripe age. You said it, Satan. The whole answer to that question is that we knows magic charms. I wears a iron ring to keep away rheumatics. There's always an onion hanging over my door to drive off chills and fevers. And round my neck I wears a potent talisman made during the increase of the moon, which protects me from all accidents. A body who takes care of her health with powerful spells like them is bound to reach 118 years, like I just turned today. That's right, Satan. Another reason for me living so long is that I never tells a lie, which proves there's no truth in the saying that the good dies young. Well, we got another cheerful little bedtime story for you now. If you'll just turn out them lights and make it nice and dark. That's it. Now, draw up to the fire and gaze into them embers. Gaze into them deep, and soon you'll see 4 people at the door of a fine big house. Soon you'll learn about the hairy monster. That's our tale for tonight. The hairy monster.
Here we are. Now, just a moment till I find the light switch.
Hurry, Mr. Weeks.
Gosh, yes.
We're terrible excited.
I have it. Now, look at the inside of your new home.
Oh.
Gee whiz.
Barbara.
Like it?
Oh, it's heavenly.
A regular mansion.
Perfectly scrumptious.
And it's all yours, Miss Turner, house, grounds, and furnishings. That is, you'll carry out the conditions of Mrs. Hawker's will and live here continuously for 1 year, beginning tonight.
If she'll live here. Ha! Try and get your way, eh, Babs?
Oh, I'll say so. After you and Aunt Maggie and I have had to live in 2 rooms and a kitchenette all our lives. Oh, doesn't it just seem as though we're dreaming? My. I can hardly believe it.
It's true, all right.
Look, Babs, Mr. Weeks has even had a telephone put in for us.
I've had the place set in order as though I was moving in myself. Doesn't look like a house that's been closed and tenantless for 5 years,
Well,
does it?
it's just perfect. Everything.
Absolutely scrumptious. I'm going to get our baggage from the car, so I'll have nothing to do but explore. I'm going over the place from cellar to attic.
Rodney, don't forget to bring in my hat box and umbrella.
I won't, Aunt Maggie.
Aunt Maggie, just look at these gorgeous window curtains. Real lace. My. But the kitchen is what I want to see. That's my special ballywick, Mr. Weeks. Where is it?
You'll find it at the end of this hall, Miss Carpenter.
Excuse me. I've got to have a look at the kitchen before I do another thing. Oh, we're all so terribly excited, Mr. Weeks. And we'll never forget that our good fortune is entirely due to you.
Oh, nonsense. I'm only acting as any attorney would to serve his client's interest.
But other attorneys kept this place away from us for 5 whole years.
Well, they had no legal grounds for their action, as the courts have finally decided. The terms of Mrs. Hawker's will were specific and clear, in spite of certain rather strange provisions. Your sister, Helen, was named as sole heir, and in the event of her demise, it was provided that the estate should pass to her nearest female kin, which happened to be you. At your sister's untimely death, the executors should have placed you in immediate possession.
Now, to continue in possession, I simply have to fulfill the terms originally imposed upon my sister.
That's all. You reside in this house for a period of 1 year, during which time you will sleep in the master bedroom upstairs, which was formerly occupied by Mrs. Hawker. You are not to pass so much as a single night away from here, and you must spend at least 3 hours in that bedroom from every midnight to sunrise alone.
Funny condition, isn't it?
But a very simple one.
Very. If poor Helen hadn't been killed in that auto accident the day of Mrs. Hawker's funeral, she would have found it as easy to fulfill as I shall. And now she's dead. And I have this wonderful house.
Your sister must have been a very sweet and lovable character. Mrs. Hawker had known her scarcely 2 weeks when she executed that will in her favor.
Wasn't it extraordinary? Helen was only her paid companion, a trained nurse like myself.
Strange, the workings of fate. Now you, whom Mrs. Hawker never even met, become her heir.
What sort of woman was Mrs. Hawker? Helen used to write that she was very you.
Well, that's proven by the queer conditions of her will.
But despite her eccentricity, Helen wrote that she was a highly intelligent old person who spent most of her time in scientific research.
I've heard that, but I hardly think that her studies were very scientific. You'll find some mighty queer stuff in the library she left. Works on magic, alchemy, and such outlandish things as that.
Is that what she studied?
They're the only books in the place with English titles. I don't know what the volumes treat of that are written in Chinese.
Chinese?
Yes, you've inherited quite a collection of Oriental literature. Mrs. Hawker spent most of her life in Tibet. Was the wife of a missionary, I believe, and that's all I or anyone else in this town really knows about her. But she made no friends or confidants. From the time she came here 15 years ago and built this house, she rarely left it. In fact, she scarcely ever left that room upstairs, which you'll occupy in accordance with her will.
She must have been very eccentric. That provision isn't the only strange one in her will.
You don't have to worry about the others. The executives had seen to their fulfillment.
I know. But why?
Hey, help me, someone.
Rod!
I'll unload you.
Oh, right there. Much obliged. I wanted to get all this luggage in at once, so I'll have nothing to do but look over our new residence. And besides, it's Mr. Weeks' car we had cluttered up with this stuff, and he may want to drive it home sometime tonight.
Say, it's nearly midnight. I must be running along now.
Oh, it was awfully good of you to meet us at the train and bring us out here.
I wanted to enjoy your first excitement over the place.
Oh, Barbara, the kitchen is simply scrumptious. There's copper pots and pans, real silverware, china dishes. Rodney, did you bring in my big hat box and umbrella?
Here they are, Aunt Maggie.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, I'll run along. Guess you'll find things comfortable enough until you can make your own arrangements.
Everything's wonderful, thanks to you.
You've been a real friend, Mr. Weeks.
It's all been a pleasure, Paul. Good night.
I'll take you to the door.
We'll all take you.
My stars, the moon has come out.
Isn't it nice? It was dark as pitch when we drove up here.
Mr. Weeks, what's that little white building back there? Our garage?
No, son, that's Mrs. Hawker's tomb.
Oh, the mausoleum you told me she had built.
Yes.
That's the one thing I ain't going to like about this place. That tomb.
Well, we'll have to get used to it. One of the provisions in her will is that it is never to be removed.
That's right. Well, I must be going. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Weeks.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
And thanks 1,000 times.
Oh, that's all right. Good luck to you all.
Let's get back in, Babs. I'm just crazy to explore the place.
Oh, so am I. And I can hardly realize it's really ours.
I don't like that grave in the backyard.
Aunt Maggie, you knew that tomb was there before we came.
I didn't know it was so near the house. It ain't right for the dead and living to be so close to one another.
Oh, how silly. Come inside and stop gazing at it.
All right. Shut that door, Rodney, and lock it tight.
You ain't afraid Mrs. Hawker will get lonesome out there and try to pay us a visit?
If she wanted to, locks and bolts wouldn't stop her. Ghosts can get in anywhere.
Oh, Aunt Maggie, don't be so ridiculous. Here, Rod, let's take this luggage up to our bedrooms before we do anything else.
You two keep away from them bedrooms till I look them over.
What for?
What for? Ain't I been keeping house for you two orphans almost all your life? I'm going up and see the beds are made up proper with clean sheets and all.
All right, Aunt Maggie. Arrange things to suit yourself. But I'm asleep in the east wing room, you know.
I ain't forgetting. Here, I'll take my big hat box and umbrella. You can bring the rest of that truck up later.
Okay, Aunt Maggie. She would insist on going up there to fix things just as if we were a couple of kids.
Have you found the bedroom lights, Aunt Maggie?
Yes, Barbara.
This here east room of yours is from... I knew it would be. Oh, Rodney, isn't it wonderful to know all this belongs to us, that we're going to live in this house?
You've got to live here for a year.
As though that could be anything but pleasure. Oh, tonight, I'm just the happiest girl in the world.
What was that?
Aunt Maggie.
Come upstairs. Something is wrong.
Aunt Maggie.
Aunt Maggie.
She doesn't answer.
Well, the lights have gone out up here.
We're in the dark. Aunt Maggie, where are
Here,
you?
give me your hand. East room this way. We'll find her there.
Oh, why doesn't she answer us? What made her scream?
Oh,
the lights have gone on again.
There she is, in that room.
On the floor.
Aunt Maggie. Well, Aunt Maggie, speak to me.
She doesn't move. She's fainted.
Look at her eyes, Rod.
They're staring at the ceiling, just like she was scared of something. What?
I don't know. She's not breathing. Her heart isn't beating. Rod! She's dead.
You still insist, Doc, that this woman was frightened to death?
I do, Lieutenant. Until an autopsy shows me some chronic organic weakness that isn't apparent now, I'll say she died of paralysis of the heart muscles brought about by shock. The expression of her face and eyes indicate that shock was caused by sheer, stark terror.
But what could have frightened her? There was nothing here to do it.
You two entered this room almost immediately after she screamed?
Yes, and the room was just like you see it now.
Well, she couldn't have been frightened by anything seen through these windows. Shutters are closed, shades drawn. You're positive every door and window in this house is locked on the inside, Ryan?
Yes, sir. Absolutely positive.
Yet you found no one hiding in the place.
No, sir. We've searched every corner.
You're sure neither of you touched anything after you found your aunt?
No, sir. Not even the front door, which was locked until you got here.
Oh, we just phoned for you, police, and then sat down until you came.
If that woman died of fright, then she must have been scared by her own imagination.
Oh, that's impossible. She wasn't that kind.
It's the only explanation that is possible, miss. When the coroner here first gave us his theory of her death, I suspected a tramp or burglar had surprised her. But we've proved that no one has gotten in or out of the place and that nobody's here now except ourselves.
Well, someone must have turned those lights on.
Yeah, and turned them on again.
Well, that was caused by defective wiring, maybe. I'll have the electric company look into that just to check. This is a coroner's case, not a police matter, boys. Come on, let's go.
Lieutenant, sir.
Yes, Ryan?
You mind putting me on duty inside this house for a couple of days, maybe?
What for? The case is closed.
I kind of got a notion that it ain't.
What do you mean?
I've just kind of got a notion.
Another of your crazy notions, eh? I've got his idea, boys. Detective Ryan is an authority on spooks. There's an explanation for us. A ghost could frighten a woman to death, and they wouldn't be stopped by locked windows or doors.
I ain't suspecting a ghost of being in this house tonight, sir. For I've just found something that no ghost would leave behind.
What have you found?
This, sir. It was snagged on back of that chair.
A hair.
2 hairs. 2 quite human hairs.
Anyone might have shed a few hairs here at any time.
But these are most unusual hairs, sir. Look. I'm 6 feet tall, and these hairs are longer than I am.
Well, that's just the beginning of his 30 story, Satan. You folks come see me next time I has a birthday, and I'll let you know what sort of critter them 6 hairs belong to.
We bring you The Witch's Tale, written and produced by Alonzo Dean Cole. And now let us join old Nancy and Satan, her wise black cat.
Hannah am 12-year-old I be today. Yes, sir. Hannah am 12-year-old. And now, if everybody just douse out their lights, we'll spin the finish of that 30 yarn we begun the last time you was here. Why'd we leave off, Satan? Oh, yes. We told how that nice young girl named Barbara Turner inherited a fine big mansion that had originally been left her sister by a strange old woman named Mrs. Hawker, who'd made a lot of funny provisions in her will. Then the house stood empty for 5 years, for the lawyers let Barbara have it. So when she come to take possession with her young brother and her aunt, she was mighty happy. Until she found her aunt lying in a room upstairs, stone dead. The police doctor said she'd been frightened to death. And then a young detective found 2 human hairs beside her. 2 white human hairs that was over 6 feet long. Now draw up to the fire and gaze into them embers. Gaze into them deep and hear the rest of our yarn about the hairy monster. The hairy monster. Ha 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 ha.
It's almost 1 o'clock, Mr. Ryan. How much longer are we going to sit here in the dark?
It's a little before 12. You heard your aunt scream in this room last night.
Yes.
I kind of had a notion history might repeat itself, but it begins to look like I was wrong. You're all in, aren't you, Miss Turner?
Of course she's all in. She hasn't had a wink of sleep.
Oh, that doesn't matter, Rod, if there's anything to be gained by watching here.
Well, I'd kind of like to sit it out a while longer, if you don't mind.
You still think those hairs you found had something to do with Aunt Maggie's death?
Well, I kind of got a notion.
But what could have hair like that, nearly 6 feet long?
I don't know, son.
You say the autopsy this afternoon strengthened the coroner's conviction my aunt was frightened to death.
Yes, sir.
But you are positive no human being could have gotten in here. Mr. Ryan, do you believe in ghosts, as the lieutenant said last night?
Well, I keep a sort of open mind, miss. You know, folks are apt to say things ain't so just 'cause those things haven't been a part of their personal experience. I've got a kind of notion strange things happen in this world that can't be explained away by simply saying they couldn't happen.
You're Irish, aren't you, Mr. Ryan?
Well, Ryan ain't exactly a Polish name. You mean maybe I come by my funny beliefs natural.
Belief in the supernatural is common to all races. Only the Irish seem to have a deeper insight into mysteries, and, well, only the Scotch can compete with them when it comes to having notions.
Yes, and my mother was Scotch.
Is that so? I'm Scotch-Irish, too.
Well, you know, I kind of had a notion. Yes, sir. The moment I looked at you, I said to myself, now there's too nice a girl to be anything.
Say, if
but
anything's going to happen in this room, when is it going to begin?
Just wait a little longer, son. Yes, sir, Miss Turner. You're the type of girl who... Say, you're not engaged or going with anyone steady, are you?
You know, according to Mrs. Hawker's will, my sister has to stay in this room at least 3 hours every night alone.
Oh, I don't care anything about that, Rod. After what's happened, I hate this house.
Funny conditions in that will you, Mrs. Hawkers, you told me about. Awful funny. Come on, son. Let you and me leave your sister alone in here.
Not if you think anything may happen.
It won't. That was just a bum notion. Here, now switch on these lights. Now leave them burning the rest of the night, miss. I think you'll sleep better.
I'd rather you and Rod would stay here with me, Mr. Rod. I'm not afraid, but I'm too upset to sleep.
No, I'm not. I'm tired, and I'm going to bed. Come on, son.
If my sister don't want to be left here alone,
She'll like it when
don't
she
have
gets
to.
used to it. Come on.
Hey, let go of my arms. What do you
Come
mean?
on.
Don't do that.
Mr. Ryan.
Good night.
Say, are you crazy?
Shut up.
I will not. You can't.
Now, I'm going to keep my hand over your mouth so you nod your head. You'll keep your face closed. You keep quiet? All right.
What's the idea?
I just got a notion something might happen in that room quicker if so many people weren't hanging around.
You mean it?
I don't know. We ain't gonna move 2 feet from your sister's door if we have to stay here all night. Now come back here. What's that crack of light under the door? If it goes out or your sister yells, we throw ourselves into that room double quick. 1 o'clock.
What's your reason for all this?
There ain't no reason. I just kinda got it.
And we've stood here like statues for a solid hour. My legs are cramped.
Brother, your sister's asleep. I hear her breathe. She breathes nice and soft like.
Say, if you're expecting a ghost to walk, they don't come round till after midnight.
Ghosts don't leave human hair behind.
Oh, I think this waiting is all the bunk. Nothing was in that room last night, and nothing could get in there now with us here in front of the only door. Mr. Ryan, the light just went out under the door.
Yes. Come on, let's go.
Look, by the bed.
Good God.
Something coming with air.
Yes, long white hair.
Help! I can't breathe.
Quick, your gun.
Hold this flashlight on it.
It's a hairy monster.
You missed.
Shoot again.
I hit it, but it doesn't drop.
It's coming toward me.
Bullets don't seem to kill it. Something unnatural dead.
Shoot again.
My gun's empty. I'll grab it.
No, don't touch it. Don't let it touch you.
It's going through the wall.
There's a false panel, a secret passage there. Give me that flashlight. I'm going up.
No, don't go in that darkness alone.
He's gone down those stairs, inside the wall.
Come on after him. It'll kill him.
Babs, come back. It'll kill us all.
Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan.
Babs, I'll go with you. Babs.
There's Mr. Ryan's flashlight up ahead. Come on.
That hairy thing has got away.
Where does this passage lead to?
I don't know. Look out. Here's more stairs going up.
Mr. Ryan, are you safe? It didn't hurt you?
No. I'm all right. The thing has disappeared.
What was it? It wasn't human, covered with that matted hair, and it smelled of mold and earth and death.
No.
Tried to smother me in my
Here,
sleep.
Miss Turner, pull yourself together. I don't know what it was we saw and followed. But here's where I lost it. Here at the end of this secret passage.
This is the end.
Where are we?
I've got a kind of notion we're in Mrs. Hawker's tomb.
Mr. Ryan, that frightful thing we saw last night couldn't have been Mrs. Hawker. She's been dead 5 years. And you say yourself it was not a ghost?
No. Ghosts don't leave hair behind. They're little things like this.
What's that?
Human fingernail, 5 inches long. I found it by the panel that leads into that passage. I've read that nails grow out about 1 inch each year. And like hair sometimes, they keep on growing after death.
You mean...
But last night we saw the dead who's still alive.
A vampire?
No, a vampire drains your blood. Mrs. Hawker came last night to steal your body. It's when she was placed in this tomb 5 years ago, she had everything arranged to steal your sister.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've done some funny reading, as I told you, Miss Turner. In Tibet, where Mrs. Hawker used to live, there's magicians who know how to suspend all animation of their organs and to live like the dead for almost any time they want. They also know how to kill another human being by smothering its breath, and how to set up their own spirit inside the stolen flesh. Mrs. Hawker knew all about the magicians of Tibet.
If this incredible thing can be true, that explains those conditions in her will.
Yeah, that her heir occupy that room with a secret passage leading to this mausoleum. She'd been cheated of your sister and had waited 5 years when you arrived. She was over-anxious to claim your life that she might live again. So she entered that room without caution, and your aunt saw her awful figure in the moonlight. Last night she waited. Careful.
But the lights, what made them go out?
Master switch inside the passage. She built this house herself, you know. And among the queer conditions in her will was one that the slab above her tomb should be made so it might be lifted by a lever inside her coffin. Another stipulation was that she shouldn't be embalmed.
And those instructions were carried out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but why didn't your bullets kill her last night if she's really living? They say you're a champion pistol shot, and yet we couldn't find a drop of blood.
She hasn't any blood, son. Her body is just a dried-up husk held together by her evil spirit. That husk must be destroyed entirely, all at once. That's why I'm having those lamps put up inside the mausoleum.
Those huge sun ray lamps?
Yes, the sun that preserves life is a destroyer of the dead. That's why she can only leave her tomb in darkness.
It's night now. There may be danger from her if you lift that slab. Why don't you wait until morning, until the natural sun comes out?
I can't have her in the same world with you another hour. You know, Miss Turner, you're the type of girl who...
Everything's set, Ryan.
You and your brother wait outside here, just in case anything goes wrong.
No, if there's any danger, I'm going with you.
Miss Turner, you're not engaged or going with anybody steady, are you?
We're ready, Ryan, if you are.
All right. Lamp set and lever placed?
Everything.
Now turn your lamps on before we put pressure on this lever.
There they go.
All right, boys. Heave the slab off.
Here it comes.
Now keep away from here, Miss Turner.
It's off.
You were right. In that coffin is a hairy monster.
She's alive. She's getting
Now
up.
turn those rays down there in the coffin.
Oh!
Those lamps went out. What's wrong?
Connection came apart. I'll fix it.
Quick! She's rising from this
Good
room.
Lord. You keep back, Miss Turner. Keep away.
She's got her hands on Mr. Ryan.
Oh, with those long nails like knives.
Those lamps. For God's sake,
Tear her
those
away.
lamps.
She's cutting him to pieces.
Bam, keep away.
The lamps are out again.
And the rays are working. Look.
She's let him go. Oh, Mr.
She's fallen.
She's becoming just dust and bones and hair.
She's gone.
Destroyed forever. Are you all right?
I kinda got a notion.
Oh, you're bleeding. She slashed your face and throat. Rod, get me iodine, bandages. Thank goodness I'm a nurse.
A nurse? You know, Miss Turner, you're just the type of girl who, say, are you engaged or going with anyone steady?
Be quiet. You're weak and losing blood.
But are you?
No, not yet. Why do you keep asking me that?
Oh, I've kind of got
Well, that's the end of that, Satan. And if it didn't curl your hair, it should at least make it kind of wavy. Well, Satan and me's got business to tend to now. Important business, Satan. Near midnight, Satan.